Number one thing during an armed robbery, now that you realize it's going down and you've done your tactical breathing and you can think and begin to develop a plan, appear to cooperate. I don't say you necessarily have to fully cooperate, because whatever plan you came up with, depending on what you intend to do about this armed robber, depending on how you have assessed the threat and the situation, you will have a plan. You will begin to formulate a plan. But number one in that plan is you should appear to cooperate. Even if my plan is to go over there and I'll tell you of a plan of a friend of mine had, a guy from our school. He was a detective. And he went into a convenience store. And he realized very suddenly that the store was being robbed from the reactions of the people. So now, he had his service revolver with him. And the fear of pulling out the service revolver and begin shooting is what could happen. Yeah, somebody else could get hurt, right? So he didn't want to do that. So he came up with his plan. What he did was he took his service revolver out and he put it against his hip on the back, and he stepped out so the guy could see him. And the guy saw him, and the guy said, "Get your blankety blank over here." And he acted like he was really afraid. So the guy came up to him and poked him with the business end of the gun. And then he did what we were trained to do, and discharged his weapon. Leave it like that. Okay. So he had a plan. He had a plan. And it worked very well for him. But he appeared to cooperate, or in his case, he appeared to be too afraid to cooperate. But that he was cooperating with the basic idea of, hey, I'm not a threat to you. Okay? Now, you want to listen intently to the guy. And that's why you need to do your tactical breathing, because you need to understand what he's saying. If he thinks that you are disobeying him, he may react violently to you or somebody else in the store. And so you have to at least have the appearance. And to do that, you need to understand what he's saying. As we talked about earlier, a lot of times these people get shot when they're in a robbery or in a face a police officer or something, because they don't seem to be listening to what the guy is saying. So listen intently to him to understand him. When you speak to him in a calm manner. Don't shout at the guy. Don't get all wired up at the guy. If you have to talk to him, you have to speak to him in a calm manner. In order to do that, you have to be what? Calm. You yourself have to be calm. You have to try and bring him down. Remember, if this guy is robbing, his rate may be way up there. You may get shot by accident because the guy is inexperienced. A few years ago, I'd say now about 10, 20 years ago, if you faced a guy with a gun, you knew you were dealing with a recidivist. Somebody who'd been to prison before, wasn't afraid. If you faced a guy with a gun. Now today, everybody's got a gun. Even the first-time offenders have the gun. Even the little kids have the gun. Everybody has a gun. The gun culture is here. It's flooded us. So the guy facing you might be, sorry? You know what you're done.
That's right.
Well, the bad guys, thank you, that's good. All the bad guys seem to have a gun. Remember when people used to rob and they would have the gun, and then a couple of fellas would have a cutlass and all that stuff? That's not the case anymore. Everybody seems to have a weapon. And so, when you speak to him in a calm manner, you want to try and de-escalate him and bring him down. You know, don't be so bold because you know something, or you're not afraid, or you're used to it. You know, go ahead, shoot me if you're bad. I saw this thing once of this guy who was in the bank, you know, on one of these TV shows, how he stared down the robber and all that. I said, well, that's one lucky guy. That's one lucky guy. Yeah, that's television. But So you want to treat the robber like a customer. Sounds crazy, right? Sounds like a customer, like open the door for him. Particularly if you leave it. Open the door for him. Go as if you have to put that in your mind. You treat him like a customer. Because we all are people of ritual, and you want him to get into a ritual of that. He's going to get this stuff, he's going to leave. You're not a threat to him. This is what you're trying to say to him. I'm not a threat to you. I'm going to deal with this. Okay, hey, okay, young man, take it easy. What you need? You don't have to worry about that. You don't need that gun here. What do you need? What do you need? You need, okay, getting it out the drawer for you. That is a part of it. And that leads to no sudden moves. If you're going to reach for the drawer, tell him that I am going to go behind this counter and I'm going to get you everything you need. Now, if behind that counter is your rifle or your shotgun, then so be it. We'll give him everything he needs. but you have to bring him to the point where he's trusting you. He trusts you because you are not a threat to him. You seem to be calm. You're not panicking. Now, you have to also remember that sometimes we're in places that are busy. So a guy comes in to break into the place, like the story of my friend who came in after the robbery began. It might be a co-working storeroom or something like that. And you know, you have to balance this. I'm not saying what to do exactly in this case, but if you know that the coworker doesn't know what's going on because you look and they're not peeking out of the door or what have you, you might want to warn him, listen, that door is going to open in a couple of seconds because somebody's coming in. Do not panic. There's just somebody coming back from the storeroom. Otherwise, a sudden move like that could cause this young person, your employee or your friend or you to get shot. You may, but everything that I say here in developing your plan, you have to look at it and you have to judge. I cannot judge for you what to do. You know the variables in that plan. You're a thinking person, but these are variables you should be thinking about. And again, like I said, I'll send you these things so that you can have some kind of referral for it. Because you should know what your store traffic patterns are. Maybe when the door opens, this door slams, or the bell rings, or you see somebody come into the door and you have a loud, you don't have a buzz on the door, or you know this particular customer and he comes and he bangs on the door and he says, hello. He says, hey, hold on a second, this fella coming in a second, he can be kind of loud, don't get panicked by it, okay? You got to talk to this guy, get his trust somewhat. If he can't see you signal others, and there are others in there, like in the storeroom or something, you can signal them and tell them, go back. Now, when is the best time to develop a signal if there's a problem? Before any incident ever happens. When you train your staff, you say, when you see me do this, that means there's something going down, or there's something unusual. Don't make it complicated. Keep it very simple, because people can't remember anything. And 90% of the time, they're not listening to you anyway. So just remember that. Repeat that often, and now we'll practice it so that they will kind of know that something's going down. But don't tell them once and think they heard you. If you activate the store alarm, you only do that if the guy can't possibly see you. You don't want to be activating the alarm, the thing's ringing, he sees your hands under the desk and upsets him, and now you've increased your risk of being killed because he thinks you're trying to disagree with him and you're trying to hurt him and trying to get him caught. Now, so you only activate that store alarm if he can't see you. Now, you need to have an act. If a robbery happens, what do we do after the robbery plan? I talked earlier about treating him like a customer, let him out of the door. When you let him out of the door, don't go running after him. You're laughing. But there are many cases of it that people are so charged up, they do some action, they get the guy out of the, if the guy is out of the store, lock the door.
Yeah.
Lock the door. no matter what action you did, maybe you fired at him, whatever, he ran out the store. Don't go after him. Remember that there might be somebody waiting there, getaway cars. He may now be emboldened by the fact that he can hide behind something and fire. If you get him out of there, lock the door. Lock the door. Note the direction that he's going into. Note that direction so that you are going to be able to identify and note the direction. Now, you want to increase your skills of observation so that you know what the guy face looked like, you know what type of clothing he was wearing. All of this is virtually impossible to do if you're too afraid to do it. You wouldn't see anything. One time ago, when my father was alive, he went to a friend's store, and I guess they were having a few cocktails in the store, and a guy came in and held a gun on his friend who owned the store. Well, this guy had a rifle underneath the counter, and he kicked the rifle over to Dad, and then the guy turned the gun on Dad. Dad picked up the gun and shot the guy, or shot at the guy, we're not sure, and the guy took off. Just disappeared, just ran away. And so we got a call later that we're to come and get your father. You know, by then he was well into the cup. And so we said, Dad, you know, we couldn't get a sensible description out of him. What type of gun did he have? He looked at us and he said, a big gun! So, you want to be able to get identifying details in case you have to identify this guy later on. You don't want to sort of round up the usual suspects thing. You want to legitimately be able to get the right guy. Now, after you're out of the store, you're going to have to be the calming factor with all the staff and everything. And you're going to have to tell them, listen, we call the police, don't touch anything. Don't touch anything. Stay calm, sit down, don't touch anything. Why is that? You may get, they may be able to get some evidence. They may be able to, by bringing everyone down, making them calm, you may be able to get them to think about what happened. All of these things are very important and very powerful ways of getting the guy afterwards. And that leads to my final point on this portion, which is to write everything down immediately afterwards. If you write everything down immediately afterwards, you may be able to